Hey everyone, this is the Spoon Dude back with another video. This is my custom Superman figure. It's the summer of Superman and I'm very much on the proverbial hype train. James Gunn's reboot of Superman looks to be a fresh take on the character that finds the optimism and kindness that's much needed for a Superman in the modern world. I was very much caught in the hype of this new movie that once I finally had some free time to start customizing again, I knew I wanted to put together my own 6-inch scale version of this Superman. Which, yes, I want to say out the gate, I know this figure will be obsolete in a year's time once we start getting official figures. I don't really care. This is more about the sheer will of wanting to make a custom. Putting this figure together, I did start with the official Spin Master movie toy. I used the head of the Spin Master and paired it with the Marvel Legends White Vision figure. The Spin Master line is 6-inch scale, but it's somewhat on the small side, but this worked well in putting the head with the Vision body, as it being somewhat small, fit nicely on the thinner Vision, and it ends up making him look kind of buffer. This Vision has a nice texture and not much extraneous detailing, which makes him a good base for a lot of live-action supersuits. To kit bash it together, I did Dremel into the head so that it could accept the larger ball peg of the Vision. For the sculpting, I did take the lazy route. I really decided to sculpt the details that I thought were important to the suit, namely the logo, the belt, and the collar. I know I could have tried to sculpt all the New 52-esque seam lines, but one, I was kind of lazy, and two, those aren't my favorite details of the suit to begin with. I really do like this new Superman suit for the most part, but really it's the bright colors, the cape, the yellow S on the cape, the trunks, that all works great. Stuff like the panel lines and stuff like that, I understand why they're there, but for me, those are details I could leave or takes. I sculpted the logo in layers, starting with the basic shape, and once that had dried, I sculpted the red part of the S, so that allowed the yellow and the red to be very cleanly kind of separated. It's not perfect, the shape is probably a little bit off, and I sculpted the logo a lot smaller than it really should be. Part of this is the ab crunch of the Vision, which kind of cuts in where the logo should be. The last bit of sculpting I did was some additional hair around his spit curl, just because the way I thought they sculpted it on the original looked a little bit weird. For the cape, I dremeled 2 holes in the torso, which accept the wires of the cloth cape I put together. This is just the same cheap red t-shirt fabric that I've been using since many years ago with my first Superman custom. For this cape, I tried something new. Instead of using fabric glue to hem the wired edges, I used double-sided tape, and hey, that worked really well. The yellow S is also 2 layers of yellow fabric, once again double-sided taped to the red fabric. For paint, the figure was pretty straightforward. I primed him white and then went in with my acrylics. There's not much detail work here, just placing primary colors. I went with bright red and yellow straight from the bottle, while the blue is a mix of primary blue with gray to get this lighter blue color. I painted his flesh tone this pale color to match the Spin Master head. I do at some point want to try a full repaint of the head to bring out the sculpt a bit better, but for now I'm fine with the stock paint job, which I think is serviceable. In addition to painting his fist hands that flesh tone, I also painted the open wide hands that the Vision has as alternate interchangeable ones, which are good for flight poses and lifting things and other poses.
Yeah. My granny called, she said, Travis.
I also put together another accessory for him, using some basswood sticks, painted and taped together along with fabric cut and wired, and painted with the Superman logo. We get the Superman flag that you can see in the trailers is hoisted up by a kid in need. And just from the trailers, just from the marketing, this image has already struck a chord with me, so I thought it would be a really cool visual to put behind my Superman figure. In kind of putting this figure with other 6-inch figures, once again, the Spin Master head and the scale of the Vision body kind of makes him a little bit small in a typical Marvel Legends display, but I think this ends up scaling really well with import figures. In particular the SH Figure Arts The Batman, which I think this looks pretty solid together. You know, Robert Pattinson's Batman isn't supposed to be the DCU Batman, at least as of this video's making, but if they ever decide against that and put these universes together, I think these two look really good as the world's finest. So ultimately, this was a fun custom to work on. Right now, it doesn't really have a specific display, but I do want to kind of put one together. So he makes for a solid, like, Superman figure to have as I kind of get hyped for the movie. But yeah, I'm going to get back into doing more customs and more videos. So I should be uploading here more often and more consistently. So stay tuned. And until my next video, thanks for watching.